Okay, Biddler on the roof here. In this video we're going to go over the basic cleaning of a Glock pistol. So hang in there and we'll get into it shortly. Okay, like I said, this is just going to be a basic video on how to clean your Glock. I get a lot of questions at work. I had a couple people pick up some Glocks of their own and they were wanting to know how I clean them. And I usually tell them the Glock or the Hickok 45 way, and they kind of look at me like I'm crazy. But for those that are out there that gun enthusiasts and get on YouTube, you know who Hickok 45 is. So anyways, on his channel, he has a couple of videos on how he cleans his Glocks, and I pretty much do the same way, and I haven't had a problem yet, and so I'm sticking with that. But I guess I do some things different, I don't know, but so I thought I'd make a quick little video on that, so we'll jump into it here. As with any gun, you want to make sure that it is unloaded. There's no magazine in the mag well. Nothing in the barrel. So on a Glock, you want to bring your slide all the way forward like that. You can point in a safe direction. Pull the trigger. You just want to pull back on your slide like that until you hear a little click. You want to pull down on the slide lock right here. Just pull down on it. Let go of the slide, and the slide will slide right off. So what I like to do, just get my frame, put it off to the side. You'll flip your slide upside down and you'll see the guide rod and all that. So you want to push on that and it will kind of release itself from the barrel. You just want to put that off to the side. Don't really have to do much to this. If I have some a little bit of oil on my hands or whatever, I'll just kind of just rub it on the spring and on the guide rod itself, but not really necessary. And for those, just letting you know that I did clean this gun a couple of days ago, so it shouldn't be that dirty. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. I'm going to get your barrel, and let's see, get some shop towels here. These are always handy to keep around. What I go on and do is I just go on and soak the barrel. I use break-free CLP. You can pick this stuff up at Walmart. It's like $4, and for the money, you can't really beat it. You just want to just coat it down pretty good, and stick your finger on the end of the barrel. Just kind of shoot it down in there, fill it up pretty good, just like that. So I usually let that sit. Just put it off to the side. Okay, get rid of that. The only thing I really do to the slide, get a toothbrush. It's about the best thing you can really use to clean a Glock. Really is your toothbrush. If you have any carbon buildup in this area, you just want to just kind of brush it off till it becomes pretty clean. One area that you really want to clean out real good right here is where the firing pin comes through, or the striker. Just take a toothbrush to that, kind of clean that out. And one way that I found is really helpful is getting in all the nooks and crannies. I usually get like another shop towel, just kind of rip a piece off, and if you have like a credit card or something like that, just wrap that shop towel up like that. You just get right there. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's just where the slide fits onto the frame, where your rails go. You just want to clean that out a little bit. It seems like no matter how many times you clean it, you're still going to get some buildup out of there, but that's about the best way to get it out. So you just want to do that, get all that junk out of there. And that's about it with the slide. Like I said, you don't do much. You can get into all the internals, but I mean, you really don't have to mess with that much. But just want to go through and get all the carbon built up. So slide's done. I go on and get my frame. See, the first thing you need to do, get a punch. Let me see if I can find a punch here. Okay, just if you have a Glock armorer's tool or something like that, that would work too, but just a regular punch would work. Just get your top pin here. Depending on what Glock you have, all the Glocks pretty much tear down the same way. But what you want to hit is, you want to get this pin out, this pin, there's a pin on the back of the frame here. So, this right here, this is your locking block pin. You just want to kind of push it out. Set that off to the side. This is your trigger pin. Sometimes you have to wiggle your slide stop to get it to pop out, but that falls right out. And your trigger housing pin, just want to pop it out like so. And you always know, like when you go put this back together, I mean, the pin that fits back here is polymer, and it's really hard to get well, it's impossible to put the wrong pins in. So I'll show you that here in a little bit. But you want to get your locking block out, and just you'll take the tip of your punch here, and you'll just slide up on that. It pops right out. So set that off to the side. Take your slide stop out. It just pops right out. Set it off to the side, and you'll pull up on your trigger housing, and your whole trigger come out. So right there is pretty much what, besides your mag release button, that's pretty much totally stripped out. So what I'll do, I'll go through with the toothbrush, just get all that. If you have any carbon buildup, just take that toothbrush to it, and you want to make sure there's no oil on it. Glocks are designed to run dry, which means you don't put oil on, like a 1911 or something else. But I know a lot of people use oil on their Glocks, but I haven't, and I have never had any problems with it. So I'm sticking with what works, I guess. Nothing really much you can do to the trigger assembly. I know some people drop oil down in this, but I don't. Like if you have like a polished arm bar, I mean, I'll just go through and make sure it's, polished. I mean, I'll just try to polish it to make it look like it's brand new, pretty much. Nothing you can really do to this. Just kind of wipe it down. Get a shop towel or whatever, and if you have any buildup, the same with all your other parts. I mean, if you have a lot of, just kind of like caked on powder residue or anything like that, you can always use, just a little bit of alcohol. But I clean my guns, every time I shoot them, so I don't have a lot of nasty stuff built up in them. So, anyways, to put it back together, you'll just do everything in reverse. You'll drop your trigger down, and when you drop your trigger down, you want to push on this until you hear a click, just like that. So, trigger's in. Get your locking block. Oops, backwards. Get your locking block. Just kind of push it down. I go on and put the trigger housing pin back in, the plastic one. Just kind of push it in. When I push these back in, I kind of make them, make sure they're kind of recessed inside the frame where they're not sticking out and snag your hand or whatever. But that's in. What I usually do, I go on and get the locking block pin, which is your top pin. Sorry, stick it. Just go and put it all the way in. Then you'll get your slide stop lever, and you notice right here it has a little spring on it. You want to fit this spring underneath that pin that we just put in. So it'll sit in there just like that. And then you'll get your trigger spring, which is the thicker one, thicker pin, and you'll just push it on in. And sometimes, like, you know, just like you got to get it out, get this pin out, sometimes when you put it in you got to wiggle the slide stop around, and it goes right in. So you just want to make sure that they're recessed inside the frame. Everything's smooth, looks good. The frame's assembled, and we'll assemble our slide. And one more thing, I don't do, like I said, I don't use a lot of oil, but if I'll have like some brake free, I'll just kind of just get a little bit. You know, that you see that little drip right there on the end of that nozzle, that's all you need. That's actually probably too much, but you want to hit the rails right here. You got 4. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You just want to kind of drop a little bit of oil on that. That one. That one. And that one. That's all the oil I ever use. Well, on the barrel too, but that's the only part that you really need to oil on a Glock frame. So coming back to the barrel, you just want to shake all that excess cleaner off. Just want to get the outside and kind of clean it off right there. And what I usually use, I mean, I just use a bore snake. I mean, I've always used a bore snake, and I never really had a problem with anything. So on a bore snake, if anybody that don't know what a bore snake is, I mean, Hoppies makes it, so it's pretty good little tool. It's just pretty much a big cleaning patch right here, and then you got your little brass brushes right here, and you just pull it through the rear of the barrel. So I go on and do that, and just bring it through. Just pull it through. I usually do it about 10 times, 10, 15 times, and I just usually do that. And if you want to be safe, you can run a patch through it. I mean, if you're still, pulling out residue, I mean, you can run a patch through it. But I never really had a problem. So you just want to just kind of look through it. And a really good tool to have. I picked this up at Walmart, waiting in line, and I seen it down there. It was like $1 or something. Got a little, you see right there, a little laser pointer. You got a little flashlight, and that's pretty much just like a little, you stick it down the board and you can see if there's any debris. You can just kind of look around in it. So everything looks good. I'll go on and just kind of rub it down a little bit. I mean, I don't want to wipe all the oil off the barrel. I mean, just the parts that really matter, I guess. I don't mind leaving a little, just a little bit of oil on it. But to put the slide back together, you just want to do everything backwards, just like you did with the frame. You just want to put your barrel in, make sure it's seated. And then you'll get your guide rod. You just want to push it in. Just want to push it in right there until you hear a little click, so it locks into the little lugs on the barrel. So that's what your slide should look like when you're done. And you just want to slide it back onto the frame. You want to rack it a couple of times just to make sure that the oil is evenly dispersed through the slide rails. You'll make sure that you're working with a clean or an empty gun. Pull the trigger, and you're good to go. and I'll just go on and just wipe down the excess oils that were on my hands and make sure all the fingerprints are off. But that right there, that's how I clean my Glocks anyway. But pretty easy to do. Don't need a lot of different tools to take it apart. It's pretty simple and straightforward. And like I said, I've been using this method for a while now. But it works for me, I guess, and hopefully it works for you. But that's all I have. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.